Welcome back. Today I'm going to play the third Maybot on chess.com. In a previous video I played the first two, but I didn't have enough time to get to the third one, and I beat the first two, so I'm going to go ahead and try the third one today. If you're new to my channel, I'm not a titled player or a chess coach like with many other chess YouTubers. I'm just a random person trying to get better at chess, and one way that I do that is by playing some of these bots. Some of the bots play a lot like the human opponents that I face, so hopefully it should help. If nothing else, it should exercise my chess brain, so to speak. So let's just click play and get to this. This hacker is rated 1337. It's part of the Heist bot group that chess.com has out for the month of May. Okay, we're going to get a normal English opening, at least so far, and see what the bot plays next. Okay, that's very common. I usually play the g3 pawn and then fianchetto this bishop here. Okay, that aims for the center, and I think the idea is if I go about my normal development, they play d5, and then if I take, which I kind of have to or they push past, then they take, and they have two pawns occupying the center of the board, and I haven't moved either one of my center pawns yet. So I think I'm supposed to play e4 to guard against that. But it's been a long time since I've really evaluated the position there. Well, since I moved the g3 pawn, I'm going to go ahead and fianchetto the bishop. Maybe put this... Okay, we got a lot of flank pawns headed my way. Should I go ahead and put the knight on e2, or should I play a4 to match that? I think if I play a4, then they can put this bishop here, and I don't have the a pawn left to threaten it with. But I'm not 100% certain about that. But the other knight here will protect that knight, won't it? I think that's okay. But let's see if they put the bishop on b4 now. They didn't. Okay, they went back to the center plan. Well, I'm pretty sure I have to take it now. And then take back. And now they have three pieces pointed there, and I only have two pieces pointed there. But they blocked off their queen with their bishop, so now they only have two pieces pointed there. Their bishop and their knight. No, never mind. They only had two pieces pointed there. That's why they didn't take back. What's that bishop trying to do? Why did it just go there? That's weird. Maybe it's just trying to develop. I'm not sure. I'm going to go ahead and castle. It just felt like that bishop was kind of in an odd place because it can't develop to either one of these squares, and it can't develop there. Oh, was it one of the ones where it tries to give away the rook and I just missed it? No, because if I move this pawn forward to attack their rook with my bishop, then they can put the bishop here on c6 because the pawn's not defending that square anymore. And I'm not sure what to do about that. I guess I could play d4 now, and if that pawn pushes past, I can take it because I have two pieces guarding that square, and they only have their knight guarding that square. But then if I take with the knight or the bishop, then I guess I would take with the bishop? No, I would take with the knight. Oh, goodness. Well, let's move the rook to e1 first because their king hasn't castled yet. Maybe now they'll get the bishop out. They didn't. That has to be a mistake, right? No, it's not. For a second, I thought it was a wasted move, but playing the English, I've noticed a whole bunch of opponents playing this, trying to get me to take so that they can put the queen here, but I don't take, and I'm pretty sure it's best to let them take me, and then I put my king here. If they don't have a pawn guarding that square, I put my knight there, which guards both the bishop and h3, but since they do have that pawn there, I think they just put the bishop here and then take mine and I take back. But I'm going to go ahead and play d4, see if that pawn wants to move. They did, so now I can put the knight here, or I could just take that pawn. If I put the knight here, I guess they could always play g3 to attack it, but I'm going to take that pawn and see what's going on here. Put this bishop here, and then they can put their bishop over there if they want to. They didn't. Wait, did they just give up their knight for a pawn? I think they did. And I'm already up 2 points of material because they gave up their knight for... No, I'm just up 2 pawns. We have the same amount of pieces. Okay, but now I'm a piece ahead, assuming they take back. And now the question is, should I take here and let them have their queen on this diagonal, or should I retract my bishop? I don't think I should retract my bishop. I think I should take. Or should I push the pawn? I'm going to push the pawn because I have a queen and a bishop guarding there. Now I think I'm going to push the pawn again, and if they put the bishop back, then I think I'll take it. Let's try that. See if they put the bishop back. They just took the pawn. Okay, that's weird. I can take the rook, or I can take the bishop. That has to be messed up, right? But let's see. If I take the rook, they put their queen over there, I assume, and then I take the bishop. I haven't even developed all my pieces yet, but I'm going to take their rook, assume they'll take back with the queen, and they didn't. They've attacked my rook, which is defended, so I get to save my bishop. I think I'm winning. Because if I save my bishop, I'm up 8 points of material. And if they then take my rook, I'll take their bishop and I will go down. I'll be up 6 points of material. Or you know what? I could just move this knight and they're in check. I know they have 2 pieces pointed at that square. Also, I could put my bishop here, but I'm going to check them and then get this bishop out, I think. They blocked with theirs, and you know what? I'm going to bring my bishop back now and let them pick up a pawn here, because I think they're going to pick up a pawn. Yeah. Because their queen's going to take there, then I've got to move this bishop. Oh, their queen didn't take there. Well, that's weird. And I do know that my opponent can still castle, but can I stop them from castling? I think I can. I think I'm going to check them with my queen first, and then I can move this bishop, which will protect those rooks. Okay, now they cannot castle, and now I've pinned their queen with this bishop here, or skewered their king through the queen. I don't know. It's a pin or a skewer or both, and I'm going to take their queen for the bishop, and I think I'm winning. I wasn't sure before. Even though I was a little up on material, I thought that they might have a plan, but they do not have a plan right now. So I am going to take this pawn, which I think is safe, and then I think I can take that pawn. I can. Going to... And also this whole time I've been trying to decide whether I should throw away the rook for the bishop since I'm up 16 points of material. But I'm not sure if I should or what. They have put their king over there behind the pawns. What can I do about it? I think I'm going to bring my bishop over here and see if they wanted to go ahead and trade off that piece. They didn't. They moved it. Okay. And most of my pieces are on dark squares, so I don't have to worry about their light squared bishop pointing at most of my things. Obviously, I can't put my bishop on a dark square. Should we check and then start pushing that pawn? No, but then I feel like I haven't been using my rooks. Let's start using my rooks. I'm going to put this rook over here. My bishop is also pointed there. Oh, they've attacked my queen. I think we can solve that by just checking here. I'm going to check. They can't move this pawn to block. They have to move their king. I could check now with the bishop, but then they move over here and they're threatening both of those pieces. But then I could come up here and protect both of them and threaten the bishop at the same time. So I'm going to do that. That's a check. I assume they're going to move over one. They did. And now I'm going to protect the rook and the bishop this way. They have moved their rook, which gives me the bishop. If I take the bishop, they'll get my rook. But then I will check, and it'll be getting pretty close to over. Or you know what? For a second, I was saying I could check here, but they have the rook there, and they would end up getting 2 pieces, but I would still get their bishop. I'm going to do that. I think if I calculated that correctly, if they take that bishop, then I'm going to get theirs. And so we just traded those pieces. And now I'm going to bring this rook over here someplace like right there and start checking them. And I've beaten this 1337 rated bot. Where are we going to check? We're going to check right here, and then we're going to bring the rook in. We're going to be careful. I'm not going to bring it right there, because if I put it on d7, they don't have, I was going to say they don't have any legal moves, but of course they do. Well, let's put it on d7 then, and they have to move a pawn because they can't move the king right now. And then I just checkmate them over here in the corner, the old-fashioned way with the queen and the rook, which I haven't done in a long time, so it's kind of fun. Okay, I'm pretty sure I haven't run any game reviews in the last 24 hours, so I should have one left. And it only took 39 moves. It took more than that to beat the 850 rated bot in this series. I'm pretty sure. Let's run the game review. Okay, I did have a miss at some point. It looks like it was way over there. Oh, because I missed a mating sequence. Well, the hand is in the way. Wait, I had a mate in 1. Oh, I missed a mate in 1. I bet some of you saw it if you've made it this far in the video, but I played really well. And that was my only thing that, besides one inaccuracy, I had a miss. And my inaccuracy, where was my inaccuracy? Let's switch over to this. My inaccuracy was on move 4. I was wrong about playing e4. Okay, well, we're going to figure out why and what I should have played instead, because I do run into that situation frequently. Instead of going through the whole game, I'm going to hit 3 points. I'm going to look at e4. I'm going to look at that last so that it sticks with me. Hopefully that'll work. But right now I'm going to look at here because I had a mate in 1, and it was it just pulling the bishop back? It was a discovered check, wasn't it? If I pull the bishop back to e6, the bishop is still cutting off these squares. My queen is cutting off these squares. Oh my. Oh, pulling the bishop back anywhere along this diagonal would have been a mate in 1. Not the other way though, because they could have just moved over. But yeah, okay. I did miss that. I had already decided on doing the trade, so at this point, obviously, I wasn't evaluating a mate. The second thing that I wanted to look for, and I'm going to go back to this graph here. Where's this green line? Okay, I want to go way back here. Okay, so the bot did not go behind suddenly. It went behind gradually. That's the second thing that I wanted to look at after the missed mate, was how I got ahead. So that just wasn't the best move. See, I had no idea if that was the best move or not. I should have played knight to f3 or knight g to e2. Okay, I did. And then the next move, okay, they had a bunch of inaccuracies right here is what put me slowly ahead. I did wonder about them playing this bishop to b4 here, and that is their best move. Okay, that's what I would have expected a human opponent to play here, but they played d5 instead, which also human opponents play, but they would have played it a few turns earlier. I should have taken with the c-pawn is a little bit better than the e-pawn. Okay, I did. And they took with the c-pawn, which was their best move, and I took with my e-pawn, which was my best move. And they again should have gone out to b4 or c5 with that bishop. I assume because they need to castle. But instead they went there. Okay, I did wonder about that. Okay, so that wasn't a good move, but I'm still only at +1.5. But that did seem odd to me. I don't think I've ever had a human opponent just move that bishop one square and block off their queen. And I played my best move again, which was castling. Again, they should have gotten this bishop out to c5 or d6 this time, not b4. And I assume again because they need to castle. But they played b6, and I have two moves that are equal in evaluation, and one of them was the one I played. Oh my goodness. What was my other alternative here? Was this where I was considering playing d4, but I decided to play rook to e1 instead? Because d4 was the other best move. Again, need to get out that bishop. It says d6 or b4. So several turns in a row. That's how I went ahead, is them not developing the dark squared bishop. And here they played another inaccuracy, just move the queen over one. Okay, see, I wondered if that was a mistake, like a wasted move, or if it was lining up like all my opponents always do to put this bishop over here. Wow, I wish I could play like this against human opponents. I mean, my human opponents don't make all the exact mistakes that this bot did, but d4 was my best move. They should have played knight to g4. I don't know that I would have expected a human opponent to play that. I do have human opponents play knight to g4, but not in this exact circumstance. Usually it's after they've put the bishop over here. I waited until they took me and I took back, and then they put the queen over here. Then they play knight to g4 and try to, checkmate me over here somehow. But knight to g4 now is their best move. And I just would play f3 and they would leave it there. That's what it says. And I wouldn't take it. Oh, come on. Of course I would take it if they left it there. That would probably be bad, but I'm curious. If they played this and my best move is not f3 or it is f3. Sorry, it says I should play knight to f4. Oh, because that pawn would be pinned. Okay, but I wouldn't play knight to f4. I would play f3, or I might play h3. I don't know. And it says they would, for a second it said they would move it back, but now it says they're going to play over here and I'm not going to take the knight, although I could. Oh, now it's my best move. Okay, that's what I wanted to see, if there was a reason I shouldn't take the knight, but there's not, and I would just be way ahead. Okay, so backing up, I'm out +4 here. So those inaccuracies, because back here it was just +1, and then when we started doing this, that bishop move put us back to 1.5. That move set us to 2.5. Then their queen move is what put us, okay, so that's not an inaccuracy. We went from 2.5 to 4.5. That's at least a mistake, if not a blunder. When we went from 2.5 to 4.5, 4.76, nearly 4.8. So it was that move, but overall it was that series of moves. Okay, some of those moves did feel weird to me. I mentioned it during the game, and now we're going to go back to the opening because I have been in this exact position before, and I thought that e4 is what I was supposed to play here. Now, very often I've had opponents play this c6 move before they got this knight out in preparation for playing d5. But it says I should just play knight to f3. We've talked about this before. If I play knight to f3, they're going to play e4, and then I'm going to, now I have a place over here to put the knight. In previous situations where I was worried about putting this knight on f3 because of this pawn, I think maybe they had a bishop or something over here, so I couldn't have put the knight on d4, but now I can. And it says that's what they would play, e4 or d5. Well, d5 is what I was worried about the whole time. e4 is slightly better, and only one move here, knight to d4, and now they could still play d5. Oh, it disappeared. Well, yeah, I've never been in that position before. Okay, so backing up, I can't see myself playing that. Maybe, if I'm trying to learn an opening out 17 moves like Grandmasters or something, maybe I would have played that and we would have stayed in book out to, way out here someplace. But I'm not playing Grandmasters, and I myself am not one. So if I played this and they moved that forward and I played this, wouldn't they push that pawn? And then I would have to move the knight again? I feel like they would just be chasing my knight all over the board. But now it says d4 is my best move. Okay, but still, wouldn't they push past? It says they would take it, but why wouldn't they just push past? Because I would go out to pin the knight? Probably not, because if I did that, they would immediately push this pawn, and then would I take or not? I don't know. If I came over here and they played this, oh, I'm ahead if I take it. Okay, and they're going to take back. Oh, because that knight was defending this pawn. So I go up a pawn, so I'm +1. So backing up, at this position right here, what I would say at least 3/4 of my human opponent's play is getting out either the bishop to c5 or b4, but mostly c5, and then getting this knight out. Those are the things that I see here. I very occasionally have seen c6 in this position, very rarely, but I've seen it, and I'm not supposed to play e4. How bad would it have been if I had just developed my bishop like I was thinking? Kind of bad, because they would have played d5. But what I need to go then is this way or the knight, and I'm probably not going to play the knight, so d4, and I can expect them to either take it or push past. And if they take it, I take back with my queen, and they can't put the knight there, but they are going to play d5. I'm not going to take it, and they're not going to take me. Now I can get the knight out because their e-pawn's gone. So I think we figured out what to do if they take the d-pawn, and if they push past, which was the other thing. No, I didn't look at that, did I? If I play d4 and they push past, oh yeah, we said bishop to g5, but now it's saying queen to b3 is my best move. And interestingly, h6 comes after the queen move, not the bishop one. If I play over here, they're going to play h6 now. Okay, but it didn't say to play h6 when I put the bishop over there first, but that's what I would expect someone to do. Instead, it says they would probably do this, and then I would put the queen on b3. That one seems a lot more complicated. But e4, how far did e4 set us back? I was up like really almost even, and that gave them a noticeable advantage. Still between +1 and -1, but they are ahead now if they will play d5, which is what I expected. If I took, and they took, and I took, and they took, then I would put this bishop over here probably, and they would be at -2. Wow, they're not ahead on material, but they're going to hop over here for some reason. I don't know why. Why are they going to hop over here? And I'm going to play d4 now. Oh, they hopped over there because I had 2 pieces attacking it. Got it. Why wouldn't I play this pawn up? Because they can check me. Oh, that's why I have to play d4 now. Got it. Oh my. I always forget about the knight hopping in here to check before I've moved the d-pawn. Well, it's going to be hard for me to remember that because I had it set in my head that I was supposed to play e4 here, but I am not. I'll try to remember d4 or the knight. Thank you for spending your time here. Hopefully you learned something from this, and let me know in the comments how your chess journey has been going. I'll see you next time.